So the time has come to move my current network into my office. So everything here would be gone. It's gonna be very nice. But anyway, so this cable here is gonna be joined with the antenna cable coming in from outside. It's just a F male connection for antenna. And then it's gonna be pushed into the hole here in the back. So I won't be needing to see that anymore. And for my network, I had an issue with my local hardware stores. Apparently they did not have any Cat6a female connectors for some reason. So my solution for now is gonna use a small box to cover the hole. Just a pass through, then down in the corner. And then I will probably going to mount the switch on top of it. Something like so. But yeah, I will probably need to 3D print something where I can place it on top of this one, so it will not be too ugly. And I will probably reinstall something correct in the future. But for now, apparently I could not get the equipment that I needed. So this will be the solution. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I'll take out my network. There's no reason for that to be here anymore. Yeah, I probably know what you think. It's not the best solution, but it's fine right now. Anyway, then the switch here, I will probably 3D print some kind of hinge that I can use and then place it like so. And of course the cable is going to go inside and it will be acceptable for now. So you can get another view of it. So quite simple enough. Yeah, it is decent. So now we come to the data rack, and as you can see the cables are far too long. I have already installed the connector for my antenna, and I got installed the power for the whole cabinet. So the idea now is to shorten all the cables down so they will be equal length. So I will just shorten to the shortest one. So as you can see that I wrote, this is for the camera in my driveway. There we go. And now for the rest. And of course I still want to keep track on which cable goes to where, even though I can see it inside the software. But I still prefer to have everything written on the top of the cable. So this is my living room Wi-Fi. And this one is for the switch in my living room. And this is the other camera on the side of my house. That probably has to be the Wi-Fi just on the other side of the wall. Yes. And I think before I would go any further, I'll actually start install this one here. The same with the unit that's gonna control it. And after that, I think I will start doing all of the power supplies. now this is how it's looking right now. So all the data cables coming down through the middle, the power supply for the fiber, the fan speed controller up here, easy enough to be adjustable, the two power supplies for the PoE switches, and of course the power socket, and of course over here is the main socket for everything that's going to be pluggable. So yeah, so far it's looking to be a quite nice space inside. But yeah, we'll see when we start getting everything inside. The time has finally come. So now to be able to mount my units, I will use these M6 installation screw sets from DT Euros. So it's just the same as everybody else brand. They're just mounted into these slots here on the sides, so both sides. So 4 for each unit. And just mount everything right now because they have to be used anyway. So that was all the mount screws. Then we have to unify my CloudGate fiber. Of course, before I will install it, I'll need to find some cables for the back side first, just to make it easy for myself. So here's the fault in my initial plan. The issue is that I'm missing space inside the cabinet. Right now, it can easily be inside here because the smallest one is going to right there. But the issue is that I still need to have room for my Philips Hue and my Danfoss Alley boxes. So that one will take one more row, then this one won't do. So the plan is to place it on top of my rack, and it'll be fine. They still look nice. So it's gonna be great. Now for the fiber switch. So as you can see on this design here, there's a small gap in the side where I can have my 10 gigs connection fiber out, and then my normal Cat 6a for just 2.5 gigs. So it is just overkill, but it's nice to have because it was available. So this one goes into my Ethernet gate. Then it'll sit like this. So the way to mount everything is just these M6 nuts. So I will go right there. So that was the CloudGate fiber. Now for the switch. And it has the same design where there's a little cutout on the side. So for this one here I can get my power supplies cable coming directly, so it doesn't have to be coming from another place and it will just look awful. So I'm very pleased with that design. So it will just be something like this. Go through here. Like so. Then in there. And then of course 4 M6 nuts again. There we go. And then for this one here, the fiber cable will go directly into the switch. So the first switch here is from my network. So we just install it like so. Oh, yeah. Of course, it would be better to install it the correct way. So, that was my first switch. Of course, this one here is for the second one. But before I will start on the second one, I will start using the cables here. So that would be this one here. My patch panel. Of course, everything inside has to be mounted directly on the terminals. In this document here, they explain that I can either use type A or type B, and for all these standard connections is only type B, so there's no reason to do a type A. And of course this one I'm gonna put in later again. It's always nice to have something inside like that, so we are sure that no moisture is trying to come into it. So, there you have it. Nicely secured. Zip tied, the shield is in place. Now I just need to make the connections. Then this one here is finished. So, yeah. You are supposed to use a special tool for these connections, but hey, a small screwdriver did the trick, I hope. But anyway, now my Wi-Fi access points and my switch is connected to my path panel, and then this needs to be installed. Of course, I'm gonna use this again up here, just to keep most of the moisture that way. So. Let's see. I don't see any issue. It should do the trick. So, but yeah, if it's gonna be an issue, I will need to order this tool. Anyway, this one will be sitting like so. Oh, I actually don't mind the black color, to be honest. So I might actually stick with it. Yeah, we'll see. At the moment, it's fine. Yeah, doing quite good, if I must say. Quite pleased. Now for the last switch. So as the other one you saw, I had this casing. But this one here, I'm not going to use any fiber because there's only one fiber on the cloud gate. But it doesn't really matter because this one is for my camera. And those ones are not going to be using that much of network. My only concern is that I have enough for my internet. Even though 10 gigs is way too much, but hey, it is the fun of it. Not too shabby. I actually quite like it. Well, of course, I chose it. So, now just the rest ones, the cameras. And for that one, it has to be exactly the same, 6 centimeters. I have to take off insulation. Yeah, this is the only measurement I have. So it has to be this kind. Yeah, and if you're wondering why I chose to have this kind of patch panel where everything is installed on the tray and not just a single female connector, it was actually just because I wanted to try it, because most of the installations that have been done so far, we used single female connectors, mainly because it was easy to repair some of the units if they were damaged, or just they seem to be more reliable in the industrial environment. Yeah. So, but this time I wanted to try the other one and see what happened. This is the last one, and this is for the cameras. Small zip ties. Yeah, and at some point I'm thinking about getting a doorbell camera also, and maybe some locking system, probably from Unify also. Yeah, we'll see. So far I'm just satisfied with my Wi-Fi and cameras, and of course also the switch in my living room. So, nice and neat. That was the cameras. Then I just have to put those up on where they belong. So that would be something like this. Yes. Now it's time to plug everything in and see if it works as it should be. It's gonna come a nice green light on it. Ah, yes. Looking good. Now for the cooling system. Nicely. Yeah, there's no reason for it to start spinning right now. So gonna place it for 30 degrees Celsius. Apparently it was quite cozy in here. I'm freezing for some reason, but the system thinks it's quite nice in here. Anyway, and then I'm gonna take this one here. That is for my my internet into the house. Yeah, we'll see if it's gonna be green upstairs when we know it works. If it's red, then I have to go back and see what the issue is. So I hope it's gonna be green. Anyway, now for the fiber. It's light, I like it. Looks like we have connection everywhere. The network is fine, the connection is stable, my cloud is on, the switches is on, the system is booting up. Here's my cable management. Still need to toggle some of the cables a little bit more inside, but other than that, it is nice inside. Plenty of airflow and space for storage, if there should be anything. So anyway, time to make the final connections out to the APs and my cameras and see if they work. And of course they work. Why shouldn't they? So some small nice yellow connectors. That's one. There's two. And for the last one, of course this one here, there won't be any lights yet because the switch is not installed. But I will do that after. Then for the cameras, and there you have it, so far. So the next thing now on the agenda is to print the holders right here for my Philips Hue and Danfoss Alley. And then of course the holder for my switch in my living room. But other than that, everything is online, everything is lightning. Of course not this one because the switch is not connected, but the two cameras are on and so on. So now I just need to make sure that everything is running as it should be. But yeah, that will be for next one.